Hey there! Welcome to episode 3 of the Nitty Digits. I'm your host, Jay. And welcome! If you are new, come, have a seat, enjoy the pretties. If you are returning, yay! You really love me! You really, really love me! Anyway, so let's get started, shall we? Let's first with what's on my needles. So first off, my Vilai in the Titania, not gonna show. I barely knit on it. The only time I knit on it this week was last night. It was maybe a few rows, so I'm not gonna bother showing it. There's not much to show. But there is some progress on my commuter one. So let me show you that one. It's light on knitting content this week because I was just too tired. But again, this is the Back to Scarf by Strictly's. I'm using my Hiya Hiya's US 2 in their sharp needles, and the yarn is Wollmeise 100%. In the colorway, I don't know because it's in German, but it's a pretty red. So you can see I'm at the decrease. So I'm decreasing, I'm getting less stitches, and I'm getting close to being almost done. So here's the tip. Let me see if I can get closer for you to see. There's a hole here. I think when I was knitting in the movies one time I either missed a stitch or did a bad stitch there. But no one will know. So I keep getting comments on Bart every day whenever I pull it out. Oh, what's that? It's like, it's a kerchief. And then I have to explain what a kerchief is because many people just hear scarves or shawls. Shawls, they're like, oh, that's so pretty. And I'm like, yeah, I use it as scarves. So this is basically going to be used exactly how I use my shawls. So it's pretty. I'm very happy with my Wollmeise. This is actually my first time using Wollmeise, so I'm very happy. It's like butter. And every time people are like, oh, pretty yarn, I'm like, yes, Wollmeise. And then people, usually the knitting muggles say, oh, okay. But the knitters, either they know and they're like, ooh, pretty, or they're like, huh? And then I teach them a new yarn company that they need to look into. And then they lose money and they blame me. Meh. So, and again in my keep calm, carry yarn bag. Love this. So again, light on the knitting, and I don't have any nail swag. Yeah, my julep box is taking its sweet time coming here, and I was awful, and I bought more. So I didn't know as a julep maven that once the beginning of the month starts, you also get a secret shop that no one else gets to have for 72 hours. And I got the email yesterday. I'm like, no, stop, no, go back to work. And then at lunchtime I played, and I got a set. So hopefully they both will come by. Hopefully they will come in by the time I make another episode. But I did do my usual Friday night manicure. So let me show you. Julep. So it sounds like I'm promoting Julep. It's a new company that I'm like obsessed about. And I'm the type of person that obsesses until I'm bored and moves on to the next obsession. So I'm hoping to be more diverse. I wasn't going to do Julep for Friday. For the start of my Mani week, I was going to do a fun St. Patrick's Day, but decided to do it next week because last week I wanted to do both of my introduction box nail polish, and it didn't work out, and so I decided, I really want to do my Petra. So I did my Petra, I don't know why I'm showing you the bad nail. So the thumb here. So this is, I got impatient and it was late. Long story. Very long story. And I started it all late. So by the time I got to this hand, it was about 12:30 at night, and I was already lacking in sleep. And so I just, but I kept going. I'm like, I'm gonna get my mani. And so this one has a little bit more smudges. Like, let me, if you see, yep. Found out my camera won't focus. There's no focusing. But if I hide my face, it'll do it. But if you can kind of see the ridge here, yeah, it got smushied. When I was putting away things, it got slightly smushy. It's not too bad. I'm not willing to let it go. So, I'm not willing to redo it because by the time I got to bed, it was 2 o'clock. No, not 2 o'clock. 2:30. So, and I couldn't get to sleep until 4. I need to get to bed early. Lack of sleep is not good for me. So let me show you. So let me show you the better hand, huh? So this is I really like it. It's I would have thought it was just a glitter base, but I'm learning new things, and this is more of a holographic. I don't think it's glass flecked. I don't think it's glass flecked. It's more holographic, glittery light, but it's not glitter because it's not a clear base, as you can tell. It's more like cream mixed in with pretty shininess. So I hide my face, it will be happy. So, and it looks exactly how it is in the bottle. Unlike Lisa, which I find very fun. I know what to expect from the bottle. So, and 2 coats. This is 2 coats. And I did the usual Nicole of OPI top coat plus and the Seche Vitae. But this time this week I'm gonna be there you go. Ooh, doo, doo, doo. Instead of doing, you know, when you renew your top coat every other week, every 2 days, excuse me, every 2 days, I'm gonna try to see if I use the Nicole by OPI Top Coat Plus as the renewal. Maybe then the chipping will not be as bad, and also, and actually the chipping wasn't that bad this week. I was very impressed. The nail polish is I have to say Julep has a good line as right now. I mean, I haven't been disappointed. So hold on, I'm missing words, so I need coffee. My Jenny the Potter mug, my one and only. I caught it when it was the Nitty anniversary, and I've always wanted a Jenny the Potter mug, but I'm never at the same shows as she is, so I got it. And yeah, I need coffee. I like flavor coffee, so in it I like to use a creamer. So I'm right now using Italian sweet cream, and the flavor coffee is peanut butter, and I'm actually pretty disappointed with the peanut butter. Company San Marcos Coffee. Karen, I blame Karen from Around the Twist for this. I used to not be into flavor coffees. I used to be like, no. My first job out of college, I was a temp at this one law firm, and they would have flavor coffee of the day, and I would make it, and I would try it, and that would be my first time trying the flavor coffees, and it just was nasty. I don't know what company they use, but it was nasty. But Karen in her pockets would always talk about it. I'm like, okay, fine, I will try it. And I tried it once I moved out of my parents' house. I tried it and I'm like, oh, so good. So I'm still trying out new flavors, and peanut butter I would think would be amazing, right? But it wasn't. Sad. So next one is cinnamon roll, and I've already dipped into that because I got frustrated and I wanted good coffee. It tastes alright once it's cold, but when you first brew it and you take a first sip, it tastes like burnt nuts. Which, why? Why would you like that? Anyway. Alright, so that's my nail segment. I'll hopefully have a little bit more fun stuff next time. But oh, sorry. Go backwards. The reason why I'm gonna try to do the Nicole by OPI top coat for my Renew coat is because, and I read this also in a nail blog, is Seche Vitae tends to shrink. Like, it has like little ridges, and I would always complain about it. I'm like, oh, this is the read why it will chip, is it will lift. Well, I thought it was just my application, you know, and I would do a very, very thin layer, but it would still lift and drove me crazy. But it lasted longer. It did last until the 4th day. But I want to see if the Nicole by OPI Top Coat Plus will not have that shrinkage, because when I put it on with the usual thin coat, it actually kind of blends with the nail, and so it doesn't have that. I get the blogger called it shrinkage, and it does make sense. It shrinks and it lifts. It has a little lunge, but we'll see. We'll see. So now I have a couple of new segments. So because my knitting and my nails is light this week. Excuse me, I'm still waking up. I figured this is the time to bring in some new segments. This will be called Book Talk. Yes, I'm finally getting into books. It's also because I finished some books recently, so I want to share. So let me show you the first one. So the first book is called, if I can reach, it's called The Last Nude by Ellis Avery. I borrowed this from my local library. It's about, to kind of give you a premise of the book, it's about the artist Tamara de Lampica, who was a jazz age artist in the 1930s in Paris. And it kind of follows, it doesn't follow the artist, actually. It's done in the first person, but it follows, I believe, I haven't done more research for, I haven't done research, I'm sorry, but I think it's this artist. It kind of, so she's, De Lampica is most famous for her Raffaellas, her nudes. That's why it's called The Last Nude. And she did this artist multiple times in her paintings. And so it kind of follows her relationship with the model, and just in a very interesting way. And in the time period, the 1930s in Paris, the Jazz Age, actually not 1930s, I'm sorry, 1920s. Jazz Age was 1920s. So it kind of follows that artist community in Paris, you know, Sylvia Beach, the Shakespeare & Company bookstore. She had a character that was based on Ernest Hemingway, but it wasn't Ernest Hemingway. It was another name. But the reason why I started reading this book is because it's part of a book club that I'm part of. And they said, "Oh, we gotta read this." I'm like, "Okay, all right, I'll read it," because I'm very happy to have found a really good book club. And so I finally got it at the library, and I started reading, and I just couldn't stop reading. Just couldn't stop reading. I was very tempted to be those people that would read from the BART station to work on the streets. I was almost ready to do it, but I didn't, because I'm a klutz and I know I would fall flat on my face. I used to do it as a kid, but that's because I had my parents holding me as I rode down the street, but no one was there to hold me. So it took me about 2 weeks to read. It's very good. The prose itself, because I'm a type of person that I like to, if the writing is well done, it's not just a storyline that will have to have me hook. It's the prose. Blame my undergraduate degree of English literature, but the prose has to be well done, and it was. I call it delicious. It was very delightful. It was a delightful read, delicious prose. But I wasn't sure in the beginning. So there are 2 parts in it. I don't want to give too much away, but it's actually done in first person, as I said, but you see 2 sides of the story. So in the beginning, you kind of follow it in the eyes of the model, and the model is supposed to be 17 to 16 years old, and so the prose was like a 16 or 17-year-old, and I had a hard time reading it because the way the sentence structures were, it would start talking about one thing, she would put a comma, and then suddenly start talking about another thing, and I thought that was just the writer being like not being well edited. But once I got to the second part and got into the different voice, I found out, oh, that's how you're supposed to see the difference, and I really like that. So I changed my mind. So one thing to note, since it's the 1920s flapper time in Paris, one thing to know is it's definitely not for kids under 20 years old. So this is not something your teen would want to read. Definitely not something a preteen. This is something that if you're okay with sexual content and you have an open mind about human sexuality, and you like that, if you like historical novels, this is what you would choose with a good glass of red wine and roaring fire and some good chocolate. So yeah, but if you're not into sexual content, if this book is definitely very free about human sexuality, and women being with women, men being with men being with women, and with the same person, that sort of thing. So if you're not comfortable with that, I wouldn't suggest this book. I like the book because I like delightful prose, and I'm pretty open about what I read. I mean, it doesn't get to too much detail. It's not like I'm reading, what do you call it, pulp novel. It doesn't get to that. It does it in an artful way, and I liked it. So I definitely recommend this book. Sad I don't get to keep it. I should have bought it instead of gotten it from the library, but you never know. So, alright, my next book. I finished this before the last nude, and this only took me a week to read, was Toni Morris' Beloved. Now, I know you're saying, you didn't read this in high school? I didn't read this in high school because, one, my high school was very much, don't do anything usual. I don't know many people that read Dante's Inferno when they were in high school. I have met very little people that have read that, or, the closest to what we did in normal English reading was Shakespeare, and then, because of course you have to have Shakespeare, and then Lord of the Flies. But every other book, I read the weirdest books in high school, and what was it? There was one where I hated it. It was supposed to be like Catcher in the Rye, which we read Catcher in the Rye. You can't deny that book. I'm not a big fan of the book, actually, so sorry. It's a good book. I think it was done really well, but I didn't like the character enough to really like it, and I have to like the character. If the character is not supposed to be someone you like, at least there has to be some redeeming qualities. I mean, maybe I have to read it again, but at the time when I read it, no redeeming qualities. So, I'll read it again. But, so, backtrack. Now, when I was always the type of reader that was slightly ahead of her game in school. Not anymore. I'm now way behind. Everyone's talking about different books, and I'm like, huh? What? And then I blame school. I blame my master's program, which is supposed to be, you know, library and information science. You're supposed to be well read, right? I'm well read in library and information science stuff, but not in literature. I was up to date in my undergrad because you have to be in English literature, but not in library. But anyway, backtrack. So one of my high school teachers, who was my absolute favorite, loved her. She and I would talk about books, and she used to say about this book was that this was her book that she absolutely needed to read before she died. She needed to read this. She loved it. She knew that she would love it, but she kept saying it's hard. She would pick it up, open it up, start reading, and then she would have a hard time. So for me, that's why I'm like, oh, well, if she's having a hard time, maybe I need to be more mature. Maybe my reading comprehension needs to be better in order to get into this. Because I was the type of person that even if my reading comprehension wasn't there, I would read it. It would take me longer, but I would read it. But I wanted to be able to soak this one in. And so it took me until now to read it. And when I started reading it, I got hooked. And I understood everything. It didn't take me that long to read. And I was actually very surprised. I thought it was going to be one of those long slogs where I have to read sentences over and over until I finally understood what the author was talking about. No. So good. I understood everything. I mean, there were a couple scenes where I'm just like, what? Did that really just happen? But it was good. I love it. And when I was reading this, I've noticed that my life tends to have themes. Like I'll enter into a 1920s time, like with Downton Abbey. I'll be watching Downton Abbey and then reading about the 1920s, that sort of thing. Well, when I was reading this book, my dad and I decided to watch Roots, which I've never seen before. He has, but because he was living there. He was there when it first aired, and he watched it, but he doesn't remember it. So, I never watched it. I've always wanted to watch it. So we watched Roots, and then I was reading this, and so when we finished with Roots, and when I finished this book, I'm just like, wow, oh my god. I mean, I understood that time was definitely not the human race's best. Wasn't our stellar moment, but it's just, this really hit home. I'm not going to say anymore because I really think that, because, so one thing about this book was when the movie came out, people revealed what was the big surprise. And it didn't ruin it. I kept reading it, but it did kind of take away the fun of finding it out. I was hoping I would have forgotten it, but I didn't forget it. Like, once it was getting close to it, I realized, oh, wait, no, I know what's going to happen. So, that I was very disappointed about. But, so I'm not going to do it to you guys. And this is definitely, I really think this should be high school mandatory. I really think this should be what high school sophomores should read. Or even if you want to keep them back, junior. If you're a junior in high school, I really think they should read this. Because, you know, the one thing about history is, of course, the victors are the ones that make history. The victors write history. So this gives another way of showing our history, but not the white, I don't want to say whitewash, but not the fuzzy kind. This is the human race at its worst. It's showing what truly happened in that time, and not what, not what word am I trying to say? Not sugarcoating it. It's brutal. This happened. You cannot deny it happened. So I really think students should be taught about what really happened in history. We always, especially with the Civil War, we always say, oh, it was, Lincoln wanted to free the slaves. He decided to free the slaves because he felt that would reunite the states. It wasn't fully about slavery. Civil War wasn't fully about slavery. Civil War does not fully equal slavery. It was one thing that was part of it, but it was way more than that. And I really think students should learn that. I was very fortunate and blessed to have an education and a history many history teachers that said this really happened, just like the Japanese internment. This really happened. Not, oh well, we kind of did what the Germans did, but not really. No, we did what the Germans did. I was taught that, and I'm very blessed to have that, and I really think this should be recommended. So, yay! And if you have already read it, I would love to discuss this. I want more discussion about books. Like, if you've read this, what did you think about this book? Did you hate it? Did you just absolutely hate what happened? Did you see what was going to happen without it being spoiled? What did you think? What did you think about the prose, which was well done? I love Toni Morrison. Actually, the first book I read was in high school as a senior, was Sula. Oh, whew, that was a good book. And that got me started to read other books about her. But I always thought her Beloved was the one where she just went all out. And I really agree with that. And that's why I waited a little while, because I wanted to be ready for it. And I was ready for it. So kind of discuss. Tell me, what do you think? Do you think it should be recommended for high schoolers? What do you think? Is it just too mature? I would love to discuss this in the Ravelry discussion groups. So let me know. One last thing. So sorry for my reach. I am now reading Pillars of the Earth by Kim Follett. So I actually started reading. So kind of the chronology of my book reading. When our book club said, let's do The Last Nude, I immediately reserved it on my library thing, but it wasn't ready, and I just finished Beloved, and I can't be without a book to read, because I would go insane. So I started this, because I'm in this historical novel period where I'm just soaking up all the history. I love history. And I decided, okay, well, I'll start this. And then I got the Last Nude. And I'm like, okay, well, this is going to the side, because while I am a knitting player, I'm not with books. I'm a monogamous reader. I have to just stick with one book, because even with a simple storyline, my poor brain will get confused. I mean, good example. After I finished The Last Nude, I went back to this, and I started reading. I'm like, wait a minute, where am I? Oh, wait, oh, that's what happened. Okay, I read, yeah. So, imagine trying to read two books at the same time, and trying to remember what happened in which book. Sorry, bless me, spring. So, I can't do it. I've tried. I have multiple books at my nightstand. But it's usually because one's a book club and one's the one that I was reading when I got the book club. So I'm back to reading this until my book club meets in 2 weeks, and then we'll get another book. But I'm I'm hopefully going to at least get midway. This is a longer book. I was kind of nervous to start a 900 to 1,000 some page book because usually those books take me forever. Anna Karenina took me a year. Gone with the Wind, 2 years. I think it took me 2 years with Gone with the Wind because I was just starting college, and so with English being my major, you read a lot. So I didn't have any time to read for fun in college. In high school, I always had time to read other stuff because in high school we actually had a mandatory reading session before we did our extracurricular activities, which again, love my high school. I'm so happy that I went to the high school that I went to. And actually a lot of the alumni, a lot of my classmates feel the same way. But anyway, back to the actual thought process. I don't remember my thought process. But in high school, I had a little bit more to read. College, had no time to read because I was reading other 1,000-page books that I had to read in 2 weeks. No, 1 week. Yeah, Tom Jones I had to read in a week. God. I think I missed a good amount of comprehension in that book. There were some parts where I'm like, wait, when did that happen? When the professor would start talking, I'm like, wait, I read this book. When did that happen? Oh, okay, yeah. I think I kind of slid through that, but anyway. So Gone with the Wind, it took me 2 years. So I'm hoping this doesn't take me too long. I'm hoping, since I read a lot more now, I have no school, I have a commuter type. My commute lets me read. I'm hoping that I'll get through this much sooner than a year, because I want to read other stuff. I have way more books up in my book queue. So must. So I'm hoping. All right. So another new segment is called My Wish List. Yes, my wish list. So let me actually, I forgot to prep my Kindle to show off the stuff that I want to show off. I'm doing this segment because I really want to hold myself accountable. And what I mean by this is I keep, to kind of backtrack. So Iggy Star, she's one of my viewers. Thank you. She introduced me to this Ravelry group called There's Fiber in My Polish. Oh, which is a sister group of the lazy LSG, the lazy, stupid, godless group. Look, I actually really love that group. I wish I was more active in the forum. But I guess these people from that group, I guess they were talking a lot about nails and decided to start their own sister group. And I have not found any other group about people who love nail polish and fiber and yarn. So, thank you, Iggy Star. And I've been following more of the forum groups, and there's one thread that says, "Look what I got," or something like that. It has a funny title of people showing off their nail swag or what they just got. And one of them was A. England. The nail polish was A. England. And sorry, I'm prepping this. So one thing to note is A. England is a nail polish company in England. But they stopped doing international shipping recently, and I found this out. Sorry, you need Wi-Fi, huh? Sorry. No more songs. They stopped doing international shipping because Royal Mail was I guess just being a poop. I want to say another word, but I'm trying to keep this clean. They're just being poopy poops. And I think someone in the thread was mentioning when I mentioned, hey, wait, how did you, someone who lives in the U.S., got A England? How did you get that? And tell me how. Tell me your secrets. And one person said, yeah, they stopped shipping because Royal Mail was being a poop. They said something else, but I'm not going to say it again. Clean. But you can get it at Nail Ninja. Like, Nail Ninja. And I think it was Hiya Hiya that told me this. Wait, why? Come on. Why am I having difficulties? Nail Ninja. Oh, Ninja Nail. I'm switching words. I was going to be more cool and prepped for this part, but I was just too excited to podcast, and I'm also running on a time limit because I want to, one, actually relax on my weekend, and two, I'm going to a local performance of Vagina Monologues, which the ticket sales go to a great organization. If you actually live in the East Bay area, it's called Tri-Valley Haven. Great, amazing domestic violence and homeless shelter group. My friend is the director of the homeless shelter portion of it, and seriously, if you want, they actually have drives for coats and hats. If you want to make hats during this time, go for it. If you have toys that could easily be given to a child in need, they will take it. And if they have too much, they'll take it and they'll sell it, or they'll do something else for it. It's a great organization. And not just because my good friend works for them, but it really is a great organization, and you know, they're the only one in that area other than, I forget that it's like Shepherd something, but this is a non-religious one. And they need support. So if you live in the area, check out Tri-Valley Haven. Great, amazing organization. But my friend, my good friend, and I think another one. I think a couple of friends, or just another person, and I are gonna go see the Vagina Monologues, which I love. Love that show. Ha! Found it. Hi. Try not to burst your eardrums this week. Come on. Here you go. No. Come on. Go to home. Home. So what I'm trying to show you is Ninja Polish. Where get to home? There you go. Boop, 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 boop. Come on. Okay. Well, so there's Fiber in my Polish group introduced me, and Iggy started too, to Ninja Polish. Oh my god. And they said, you can get 8 Englands there. And I said, what? And I really almost just went up and just bought some. And I may just, but what I really want to show you, again, I would have been so much more prepared if I was smart. Well, not smart, if I was not as excited to podcast. Come on, little monkey. I really want this. I really did I mention I really want this? Jane Eyre. So one of the podcasts I listen to is Craftlit, with Heather Ordover. Love her. And we're doing We're doing Jane Eyre. And when I saw this, I was just like, Yes, please, want now. I really did. I was looking at this. At work because I have a confession to make, and if my bosses see this, I'm sorry. I look at nail polish at work, not when I'm supposed to be working. I try not to because, you know, I actually like working. I'm the type of person that actually likes to work. I like to be busy during the day because then the day goes by faster and I feel like I actually did something with my day. I like to be productive. I'm not the type of person that says, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll just surf on the web all day and do nothing." I don't like doing that. I hate doing that. I feel like I stole their money and I didn't earn my keep. I know. So, during lunch hour, I look at the nail polish, and sometimes I go a little bit after when I don't have any work. I'm just sitting there reading the daily journal, or I'm trying not to stab my eyes out because I'm so incredibly bored. I will kind of look at the nail polish just quickly, and then I close the web browser and say, "Enough, Jennifer." I just reveal my name. So yes, my real name is Jennifer, not Jay. I'll explain later. Sorry. It's not a big deal. But anyway, yes, Jay, you need more nail polish. I do need more nail polish, but it's pretty. Isn't it so pretty? It's so pretty. So this is my wish. This is so I started this segment because I I I want to be held accountable and not buy all the pretty things because I started saying, "Oh, well, I should buy this to show off to my podcast. I should do this if I want to show it off. I should buy this." And I realized that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. So, I figure this segment will hold me accountable and not have me buy all the pretty things. So, oh, so pretty. So, if you can't see, it's black. Let me show it again. And this is A. England Jane Eyre. And they have other themes too. They have Avalon. They have Avalon stuff. Sorry, King Arthur Round Table, that sort of thing. And then my next one, the other one where I almost just, oops, no. Where I just said, yes, yes, please, I will so buy it. I'll buy two so I can give the other one away. I don't have enough viewers for that. It's either give it to one of my friends who just really wouldn't care, or here, Iggy Star, enjoy. I need more viewers. I don't need more viewers. I would like more viewers so I can do more giveaways, and maybe I will do a giveaway. You should keep watching and see. Keep watching, and maybe you'll find out. But this one I just I really wanted it. I was gonna buy it, but then I remembered. Oh yeah, no, 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 no. You cannot buy this. So it's one of the so soak the stuff that you wash your knitted stuff in. I like to wash my delicates in it. Anything that's hand wash, I soak it in soak. They have what they're called soak box kits, and some of them just have their hand cream, their soak wash, and then they'll have yarn. Lorna's Laces does a yarn with them, and then some other kits are like this. Do you see it? Do you see it, my lovies? Uh-huh. What's that right there? What? Is that nail polish? Yes. So what Silk has started doing is they put together a box. It's their limited edition. It was part of this thing where they wanted people to match their nails. It's fun. Absolutely fun. And I was just like, yes! Oh my god, I love it. And they even had like small articles of how that you could match the pattern that you have with your nails. So there would be nail design, and then, you know, it would match the fingerless gloves pattern that comes with this. So so the one I'm looking at is Clark Cable. Who wouldn't want Clark Cable, right? Gone with the Wind, right? So the kit comes with a bottle of soak, handmade luxury cream, stylishly matched to premium nail polish, and a custom hand-dyed yarn, and also includes a pattern for fingerless mitts. Oh, so by the way, I'm on loopyu.com. If you haven't heard of the loopyu.com, you must check out the loopyu. I would be very surprised if someone has not heard of loopyu, because it's become such kind of like a huge knitting place to go to get your indie dyers, especially socks. But if you haven't, check it out, www.loopyu.com. And they have also fun accessories, and this is what they have. They also have the soap. They have some soap wash, which I bought some soap wash, but they also have the soap box kits. And so in this kit, it's the Handmaiden soap wash is in their celebration scent, which I love, 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 love. The nail polish is Essie, Essie, in the Poor Little Rich Girl color. I don't have any Essie, so I was like, yes, I would love to get some Essie, right? And then Lorna's Lace's Shepherd Sport 200 yards in the Clark Cable colorway. And then a pattern designed by Fiona Ellis. So this is, let me show you again. Let me show you the better one. A short. La 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 la. I so want it. I want it. Want it. But it is $50. So going back and forth between the add to the cart, add to the wish list, add to the cart, add to the wish list, and I finally said add to the wish list because I can't spend any more money. I think words. What's that? I already did a little bit more on my Julep March Maven box. I don't, usually the box costs $19.99, but then if you do any add-ons, sorry, I'm playing with my hair a lot. It's $19.99, but if you do any add-ons, it adds to the cost. And I had already added on another color from another style group, and then I decided I wanted to try the Freedom Polymer top coat, because once you tell me that it has a finish like a gel finish, I say yes, please. That's the reason why I started doing gels, was because of the nice thickness. Loved it. And the fact that it didn't chip for 2 weeks, loved it. Hold on, I need coffee. The one thing that, the person that I am, is I'm not the type of person that has enough time to do a manicure, or even just paint my nails every 2 days. I'm very social. I'm trying to be less social, so that way I'm not spending a lot of money, because in order to be social, you have to spend money. It's just the way of things. And I'm trying to be less social, but I am a social person. You know, when I come home from work, it's either I'm going to the gym to work out and then come home and cook, or I'm quickly running into the house, feeding the birds, changing my clothes, and running to doing something else. It's you know, that's why I always make my Fridays where I'm not going to the gym. I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying in, doing what I call spa night, where I put on a face mask. I let it stick to my face while I clean up my nails, do its usual manicure, and then I paint them. I'm trying not to get it so that I'm up until 2 o'clock at night, because I still have to cook. So that's why I don't go to the gym. I don't do anything, because I only go to the gym for 30 minutes. About 30 minutes. So, that's why I always make my Fridays in, no matter what. this week is going to be different, and that's going to be discussed in my announcements. And hopefully I won't talk anymore because it's already 50 minutes. So I'm a very social person, and I can't just sit down and do a manicure every 2 days. I want it to last. That's why I'm trying to get my manicures to last at least a week, so that way every Friday I can enjoy and relax and do my nails and whatnot. And I'm hoping the Freedom polymer will help me do that. I know one person was telling me that it wasn't very good. But there were other reviews that said it's really good. It does last a little bit. There was one review where she said she thinks it was because of her base coat, not the Freedom polymer, that made it chip a little bit sooner than she thought. And also she didn't do the recommended of every other day putting a new coat. So and it doesn't have to be cured in the UV. You can cure it under a 60-watt light, or you can do it in natural light. It just depending on how long you want to sit there with drying your nails. I think the 60-watt takes 2 minutes. Natural light takes about 4 to 5, which is I usually, with any top coat, with any nail polish, I always wait at the least is 5 minutes, and that's why it takes me so long, is because sometimes I wait a little bit longer, or I'm watching, what I do is I'll do it while I'm watching my shows, if there were shows on Thursday, or I'm watching a movie that I've already watched, or I'm watching video podcasts. So that is what I do. So it takes me much longer and whatnot, because I'm just letting it dry. You have to let it dry. That's just the nature of the beast. So getting back to the original thought process of this is, I really like gels. I really like the gels, but I don't like how harsh it is on your nails. And so I'm hoping this Freedom Polymer top coat works, and I'm hoping it comes this week so I can play with it. And maybe it'll be by the time I can try it on my nails this week, and I'll let you know. So let me get 2 announcements, and then we can although I'm very sad that I'm ending this, but not ending the podcast too soon, but ending this episode. Blah blah. So announcements. Brain is not functioning, and I don't remember what my announcements were. So I'm still working on iTunes access. Blip denied me again, and I think this time they just didn't even bother to watch the sample that I gave them, because I used a sample of last week's episode and showed them, look, I have an HD camera, look, it's so pretty. But I think they kept saying low quality, so I think they don't mean low quality video, they mean low quality subject matter. And if that's the case, then I don't need you. So I'm trying another way of doing it, where it basically, iTunes needs a compatible RSS feed. Vimeo has an RSS feed, but it's not compatible with iTunes. So what I'm trying to see, I've been on Ravelry groups for podcasters trying to ask them if anyone has figured out, and there's this one gal that's helping me out. She's an audio podcaster, so she was able to figure out through audio, and she's helping me out to see if maybe the video, even with the video, it still would work. So we're working it out. But yesterday, the reason why I did my manicure so late was because I was yelling at my computer. I was trying, so I set up a domain. I was getting WordPress because I was told WordPress would be better to stream your video podcast, so then you can get the RSS feed from there and put it in iTunes. But I'm not a tech person. If you want to, in the geek measure of technology, of knowing my computer stuff, I'm like advanced beginner. No, not even advanced. I'm medium beginner. Like, I'm not beginner. I know what an RSS feed is. I know what an IP address is. I know that stuff. But then you start talking about HTML, XML, all the other stuff. I look at you and say, what? So that's why I haven't figured it out, because whenever I go on a tutorial and try to figure it out, they talk computer science talk, and it's like, where's the tutorials for the dummies like me? I can't figure it out. You need to talk in normal language. Once you start saying you need to do this code with that code and do this and do that, I'm like, WTF. So I was bursting in tears and crying, and I messaged a gal that was helping me out on a forum thread, and she's like, let's work it out step by step, and don't worry, you're not dumb. It just, I'm a visual learner. That's the thing, is I'm a visual learner. I learn by doing. I learn by someone saying, see this, look at this. Oh, I can't do it by reading. That's why, unless it's abstract thought, I can't learn by reading. This is just how I am. My reading comprehension is at the point where I can understand abstract thought. I can understand theories. I can understand that. But when it comes to actual doing and processing and working it out, the knowledge does not compute. If you want me to learn certain things, I can't read about it. I have to do. So, I mean, good example is Microsoft Word or Microsoft Office of any sort. People say, so how did you do this? Like, where did you learn this? I said, I play. I will play with things until I make it do my thing. And then I remember it, and I always do it. And so I walk people through it, and I'll help them, and they're like, oh, great, thank you. But where did you learn this? I didn't learn it in a class. I didn't learn this in a book. I learned it by playing. And I tell people, if you're a visual learner, if you can't learn without visuals, play. Just play with it. Don't worry. There's a back button. I'm so happy that someone invented a back button, because then I can instantly hit back and nothing has changed. So we're working on it again, technology and me. So I'm trying to see if I can use, I don't have to move everything, and I can use Blogspot and the feedburner, and see if I can get it to work. Because I want to be accessed by iTunes, please. So that way more people can, it's easier access, honestly. I can give you the RSS feed for my Vimeo channel, and if you want to do it that way, so you can use another reader to do it, just PM me on Ravelry, Knitterly Book Lady, and I can give you the RSS feed, or I'll just put it in a forum thread in the Ravelry group, which is the Knitty Digits. But at this point, I'm still fighting with technology. I'm gonna win. I am so gonna win. It's just gonna take longer. So my next announcement is, so when I keep saying next time, usually it would be next week, because I like to podcast. I would like to podcast every week, and usually on the weekends. But this upcoming week and weekend, I'm not going to be able to do it, because it's my birthday. My birthday's March 8th on Friday. So because I'm still a child at heart, even though it's only my 29th birthday, I should really be less excited and just be accepting the fact that I'm getting older, and just say, okay, I'm getting older, but I'm still a child, and I still tend to celebrate it a full week. I can't do a month, because no one's willing to do it with me. I wish I could do a month. Like, what was it? Laura or Lala from the Knit Girls was saying in last week's episode how in March, she celebrates the birthday month, and her father was saying, hey, it's your birthday month. Birthday month. And I'm like, I wish I could do that, but since my birthday's in the beginning of the month, and usually what happens is Stitches West is a week or 2 weeks before mine, it's kind of like, I celebrated in February, and then I keep going, and then after that, it's St. Patrick's Day, and people forget, which makes me slightly resentful of St. Patrick's Day. But I can't do a month. I can do a week, though. And so this upcoming week is going to be slam-packed, and just with other stuff. I have a couple friends that said, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. And I say, yeah, we haven't seen each other. We've been busy. And so we're going to meet up in the city on Tuesday. Wednesday is my singing lesson before my teacher's forcing me to sing. I'm not video casting that. And then Thursday is my usual knitting night. I usually do 2 knitting groups, but I'm skipping this Tuesday so I can see my friend who I haven't seen in a while. And since I'm not, so to kind of back up, I'm not doing a birthday party for my birthday. I'm not. It's my 29th birthday. 1 year closer to 30. Not there yet. Not ready to say goodbye to my 20s, but at the same time, yes, I am ready. I'm kind of in that mid stage. But when I turn 30, I'm going to be wearing a tiara and fairy wings. Because that's how I feel about being 30. But it's my 29th. I wanted it to be a relaxful time, and I just, with everything that's going on and always being social, and I just wanted to spend time with a couple of my friends and just be done. And so Thursday, the day before my birthday, my knitting gals and I they're gonna meet me in the city, and we're gonna get manis and petties. I'm gonna let someone else do it to me for a little change, just once. I'm not gonna do gels. I'm strictly gonna just do a manicure. I'm trying to decide if I want to bring my own nail polish, because I don't have a lot. I'm no longer saying I have a lot of nail polish, because now, looking at everyone's nail polish that they get at the there's fiber in my polish group, I'm just like, oh no, I haven't even entered into a lot, so I'm no longer saying I have a lot. But back to the main point. So I'm trying to decide if I want to bring my own, or the nail salon that I picked, they carry Chanel. And I'm kind of a brand person, and I'm just like, Chanel! Oh my god! But I'm trying to decide. I really would like to do this idea that I want to do, which is black nail polish with green glitter over it for St. Patrick's Day. Maybe I'll make them do it for my toes, and then I'll do Chanel on the top. I don't know. We'll see. I'll decide. And by then I'll have, hopefully, my Maven March box. So maybe then I'll be like, nah, I want to do some spring colors. So we'll see. And then the day of my birthday, I'm going to be doing my friend and I are going to a fondue restaurant in Livermore, over in the Tri-Valley. And depending on the time, we're also going to go see Oz, which opens. I love Wizard of Oz. So we'll see. And then Saturday, we'll be wine tasting. And then I'm going to spend time with my parents, because, they were the ones that birthed me. Should really spend time with, the people that birthed me on my birthday. So it's just, since I like to podcast only on the weekends, it's not going to be with how much processing. I mean, I'm going to spend a good 2 hours processing this episode. Since I won't have enough time to do a good episode, I don't want to rush through it. I don't want to be like, blah, 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 we're done, and then put up a bad episode. I want it to be good quality, because I'm a perfectionist like that. So I think I'm going to not be able to podcast next week. So the next episode will have to be the following weekend, which will be when I'll be doing my recital. So you guys will help me take my mind off the recital by talking about knitting and nails. So I hope you guys don't mind the week off, and maybe that will give me more knitting done, and I'll have tons of nail swag. I'm hoping. So, and I don't, I really don't expect much for my birthday in regards to presents. So I I'm not that big on presents anymore. I know that's odd. I love getting presents, but I don't expect it. Which, you know, I'm 29 years old. I should not expect it. I should just, the present for me is seeing people. Is seeing my friends and spending time with them and just being able to be myself with them, which I'm always period, but just spending time with my friends and my family is my most cherished part. If I get yarn and nail polish, that's just a bonus. All right, I'm gonna close off. Thank you, you guys. You can find me on Twitter, JAY_crafty, CRAFTY_geek, GEEK. That's Twitter. You can find me on Ravelry, Knitterly, Book Lady, KNITTERLYBOOKLADY, and join our group. It's the Nitty Digits. Just search the Nitty Digits. We come up on the very top. Or just search for nails and knitting, and you can join both. There's Fiber in my polish and my group. I really want to get that group more discussion-y. It's just me right now and Iggy Star, so I'm really hoping, you know, don't be shy. I may be brash, but I won't yell. I promise I won't yell. And add me on Twitter. I mean, most of the time I'm showing off my nails or squealing about something or just saying, oh my god, I love julep right now. Soon I will stop obsessing and maybe go on to, I don't know, 8 Englands. Anyway, I'm going to end this now. And I hope you have a great week, and I hope you have a great following week, and enjoy my birthday. Oh, side note, I know I'm going too far, but March 8th is International Women's Day. The month of March is National Women's History Month. It's a great month for women. So if you want to do something fun and feministy, have fun on my birthday. Learn history. Learn our history that no one would be willing to, not no one would willing, but not many people get to know about. Just celebrate women. In any way. And quick note, yes, so, because I don't edit in between, it's just too hard. Quick note, yes, my name is really Jen or Jennifer. My parents are not me to name me Jay. The reason why I do a nickname is because it was for the Crafty Gaze podcast, because my friend Listy has a nickname, and because it's just private issues, but most of my bosses, I don't care if they find it, so I don't know why I just kept going with Jay. I really like the nickname Jay, because I had a friend in college who called me that, and it's my dad's middle name, and I just really like it. So I'm gonna keep calling myself Jay, but my real name is Jen or Jennifer. You can call me whatever. But anyway, ending this now before I go crazy. Anyway, have a great week and have an amazing Nitty Digit day. Bye.
You know the bed feels warmer, sleeping here alone. You know I dream in color and do the things I want. You think you got the best of me, think you've had